Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Excuse me. It's Saturday morning, slightly after 8 a.m. Generally, on a Saturday, I'm silent. But I'm going to break the rule for half an hour. For half an hour. Yeah, the arguments or the adversarial nature of the with question. Why is it important that what is termed or who is termed foundational Black Americans important? Why is it that they separate from the rest of the cultures? Why must they separate from other melanated people, no matter where they're from? And secondly, FBA is a political term. That's what they are. That is who they are. So let's discuss this. All these elements, different elements. So let's start with, why is it important that foundational Black Americans? Oh, and number 4, the group, as you would think of it, has no leader. So when I hear people say that the leader is this person, no, then you need to understand. However, you do have a position. And at first I thought it was one of you like crying out as if we're separate, as if separating from you specifically. No, it's not like that. But anyway, why did this come to be? How did we get here? How did we get here? We remember we are talking about the Black diaspora, Jamaicans and Caribbeans, Africans, these different areas. At any rate, to understand how we got here, you have to understand the migratory patterns and how the migratory patterns have been used against what is termed foundational Black Americans. Every time there is a migratory influx of people, our lives change. Our salaries go down, opportunities go down. It to such an extreme that it didn't just stop at Black people. It started getting everybody. Wages go down. Why? It's simple capitalistic economics. There's a overabundance of people who would work. They call it labor. A overabundance of labor, competition for the same resources, which they don't, I think it was I'm seeing 519 BC, but I could be wrong. BC means before Christ. Before Christ, when, man, he was nothing but that consciousness and that dark matter up there, minding his business. And he's part of him was. At any rate, they were being the Israelites, the Negro, Adam, his progeny, was at war or about to go to war with the Roman, in which the Israelites entered. You knew they were different from you. They were peculiar with different customs. a different God, a different understanding of life. And you, quite frankly, you really didn't like them. You really didn't like them. Consequently, when the slave catchers came, other people with guns and threatening you, then these are the people who Africans sold into slavery, not their brother, African by race. They would not be African by culture. They would not be African by the choice of gods. At the beginning of them getting into Africa. Again, I don't understand what your argument is. I don't know what anyone. You know what? When you know you are right, then stop arguing. Shut the hell up. Let them fight and argue by themselves. Be smart about this. Save your calories. Save your life. Argue patterns hurt us. Let's understand why. Why they hurt us vis-a-vis the black diaspora within this country. Okay? Let's understand this. Because it's a double-edged sword. Number one, you never mad at me. Remember it's the Sabbath. I'm just shooting it straight this morning. Unfortunately, in this country, you don't have to assimilate. No immigrant favor you over us. You see it and you benefit from it. I know that you see it because I've had African friends. I've had all kind of friends. You'd be surprised. And we have deep ass conversations about a lot of shit. I had one running. Man, I thought the guy was going to get his gun. He got so mad at me, he run across the street and run up inside his house and slammed the door. And we were just shooting pool in the damn garage. What's wrong with this guy? He started this conversation. Oh, man. Once again, you will be used. How do you think they're going to use you? In the numbers. And then they're going to say that we don't know which is which. See? But they do know. And you know. Once again, you will serve as a variable that harms the Negro cause politically and on a social level and on a what you would term religious level. Except the Negro doesn't really have a real influence. This is what you sold. This is what you sold. I mean, I don't mean to asperse you. This is what you sold. Okay? Going back historically, and this shouldn't be offensive because history is what it is. It's your story. His story. My story. I'm writing my history right now. I'm writing my history right now. Anyway, back to point. I don't understand like I said, at first I thought it was fear. And then, even if you don't believe, if they are God's chosen people, then that means that they have to separate from the rest of humanity, the Gentile. Everybody else outside of them are Gentiles. Not because the Gentile is bad or good. Okay? They were meant to be a light and a pathway for the Gentile. This is why they've given the world so much, even during their slavery. Now imagine how when the first man was breathing air, they was here. Before Jesus showed up, they was here. Before the flood, they were here. Now it's a question of, well, what's they doing the flood? Hey man, listen here. That's down the rabbit's hole. That's down the rabbit's hole. I too ask myself that on more than one occasion, but that's down the rabbit's hole. Not this morning. Let's keep it simple and quite focused because it's an unnecessary fight. And in fact, I refuse to fight you. It is the rest of society, period. And on a political level, you have always been used as the hedge and as a buffer against FBAs in this country. Always, since the beginning. Look it up. Look it up. Or do I have to do it for you and bring you event after event after event? We won't do that because then it would start to feel like it's an insultive nature. Including you, separates them in your own head. No one has to do this for you. No one has to do this for you. But we're being kind of specific here, so let's keep it black. No one's gonna do this for you because it's cultural. It's cultural for you. There are forums that when you come into the United States, everything around you tells you to not mix or mess around. We don't like them. You see how this went? Because it went just like that. This back in 519 or 518 BC, at the beginning of it, of what I would think is the beginning if we're going to actually look at this disagreement. And it's not a disagreement because I'm still trying to understand why does that threaten you? Why does that threaten the rest of the Black diaspora? This separation. I'm not going to use their word. By their personal names. That's always a bad one. That's asking for a fight. An argument is an argument on social media. But what you do know rappers have been killing themselves over stuff like that, right? Never use the other party's name without caution. It can be costly. Anyway, that's so small. But what is big is this constant argument here. It went so far as the callings, just like old times. What you think about it, boss? But let's give both sides guns and semi-authority. Let's stir the pot. Let us stir the pot. Let us be like the angels do. Stir the pot. See, one thing I know, a couple of things I know, because I'm about to wrap this one up. A couple things I know. Guns and people is one of them. Let's talk about that one first and how it changes people. Okay? To upset the equation, you sneak in the house, not to steal nothing. All you need to do is leave a pistol on the table. I hope you put your cameras up. Watch what happens. Study what happens. 9 times out of 10, whoever finds it first is going to leave it there or start asking, whose gun is this, man? I thought it was a damn toy, but this shit real, man. Whose this? Then they'll all gather around. Some of them want to lie once they realize that it ain't nobody's. They so bad want to say, it's mine. That's the beginning of the end for somebody getting shot. I am telling you, because now all of a sudden, they don't trust nobody. Not one of them is willing to trust the other one with the gun. But before, everything was cool. So the minute what I'm saying, well then man, I'm gonna hold on to it. The other four is gonna have like, wait a minute, it ain't they gun. Why they worried about it? Well, because all of a sudden one has a pistol and the four of them don't. But that's why. And it will get worse and worse and worse. It won't go back to how things ever were. It should be termed void upon arrival, but I can't because you're not gonna stop. You're not. I mean, so I'm trying to clear this up and gain some understanding. Are you threatened by it? Because I'm trying to understand your motivation behind it. Me personally, I don't hate anyone. And if I did, it would be me hating everyone equally. That would be nowhere to hide, especially race or history. History would become like an albatross who thinks just like you. So you will always be right. You will always have understanding. Always have understanding amongst your own. So even those conversations are worthless. If you know the outcomes and the twists and turns of the conversations, then they're worthless. They only value what you value. It's not even a real conversation. It's an agreement to understand each other that's chosen for this conversation. That's the part I don't get. That's why I keep saying, what is your motivation? Are you threatened? Do you not understand the historical context and what you would call religious context of what's going on here? You are a Gentile. All Gentile mean, for the purposes of this argument, is everybody else except them. That's all that means. It's not going to give a damn if you're African, Hispanic, or anything else. There, you've been cultured, only to be hit in your face with the truth. With the truth. Now, on that level, you are, simply flaking out like the rest of the Gentiles, flaking out while at the same time saying that we are brothers. But I see you flaking out. You wasn't flaking out 5 years ago. You wasn't flaking out 10 years ago. But now everybody is flaking out. Gentiles are flaking, and the flaking is gonna stop. Stop. I've used it's not nothing to fight about. You won't change the facts. You argue from the position, like I said, I should consult the gods of war and say we should think about giving them guns, sir, and maybe even monies and training. They're already at their damn throats. All they missing is pistols and AR and a multitude of AR-15s and a little training. 3, 4 weeks of training, we will train them both. Shit, for a small wholesale price for Gentile and Jew. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about. This one's going to get funny. The in the in the Jerusalem Post, one of the fine newspapers out of Israel, had an editorial, an opinion maybe, where they said that God is an anti-Semite. Imagine that. God is an anti-Semite. I will tell you forever. I can assure you that your anti is no more than the last anti or the one before that. Not at all. He's not an anti-Semite. Know what he is pissed. When you run your ass around killing everything, and having your way upon the earth as if you are the God. See, this is the part a lot of men and women don't get. God's not interested in your actions like that. No, he's not. Because you gonna do what you do, you gonna do what you do. Really? Oh, we can stop you. We really can't stop you. When I say we, I mean source. God's tool, God's weapon. Scary stuff. I love him to death, but the whole situation around here is scary, spooky. At any rate, that's how things are going to be. The separation will happen. It's going to get ugly as it's already starting. Black people are being blamed for everything. But that's normal for us. And what they hear now, it is a fight for one's consciousness, spirit, thought, them. Enjoy the rest of your Sabbath, what I call the Sabbath and what the Bible calls the Sabbath. I am Source. I am Seven. I am One.